Hey everyone, Mr. Overon here with Mr. Overon's Tarot Reading Services, and today I'm going to be talking about the retrograde. You may hear about it like Mercury retrograde, or just the retrograde, or it's that time of year, or whatever, and here's exactly what that means. So, several times a year, we have a Mercury retrograde, and what happens is when Mercury goes retrograde, it affects all levels of our lives, especially revolving around communications. So, like, this year for 2022, Mercury retrograde is going to happen January 13th to February 3rd, May 10th to June 2nd, September 9th to October 1st, and December 28th to January 28th, or to January 18th, 2023. So when it affects us, it happens in like our communications. So like communication across the board is just screwed up. Be it writing, listening, trying to get your feelings across to somebody else, or what have you. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff that happens during this time. So you need to be flexible, patient, understanding, and allow for extra time for travel, and avoid trying to sign any contracts, or making sure that you double check and even triple check your emails. Listen to your voicemails all the way through. Write yourself a script if you have to when leaving voicemails or typing out emails. Like double, triple, and maybe even quadruple check these things. So, you know, in regards to communication, it also affects travel, automobiles, shipping, and the mail as well. So you got to take that into consideration. Now, the Mercury retrograde that typically like kicks my butt every year is the one that happens in the like late summer, early fall, and that's the June 2nd to October 1st area. My whole life seems to fall apart right around then. We also hear a lot about like March Madness and stuff like that, and that's something completely totally different. That's like the beginning of spring and like the like woo of hormones and all that other stuff. But sticking strictly to the retrograde and stuff that happens in the latter part of the summer going into the fall winter months, that seems to be the time when shit happens and just like piles on top of me like nobody's business. The one thing that I try to tell everyone is be mindful of your relationships. Doesn't matter if you are in a relationship or whatever else. Be mindful of your relationship. Take time and give time to your partners. Listen to what your boyfriend or girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever the deal may be, has to say. Do not react for the act of reacting. Listen, take a moment to chew on it, and then move on. It's okay, 100% okay to say, I need some time to think about this, or let me reflect on this and get back to you in like a couple of hours, or like in a day or something like that. Or, you know, even let's circle around to this in like a week or whatever. Use this strategy at work, in your relationship, things like that can really be helpful. And not only can it be helpful, it's going to show that you are being in touch with your communication side with your partner or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Just like if they're coming at you and you're having a lot of problems out of nowhere, it seems like, just stop and be like, honey, I love you. I hear what you're saying, but let's take a couple of days and readdress this issue later. You can even take it a step further and be like, hey, I think right now, because we are pre-Mercury or post-Mercury or even Mercury retrograde, I think that our communication is off kilter right now. So let's just take a moment and approach this with some time. I hear what you're trying to say to me, so give me a day to really think it over and explain myself better to you at that time. Of course, this may not be the case, like if there's like if you suspect your partner of cheating or whatever, but you know, instead of fighting with that person and possibly throwing away a good relationship because of misunderstanding and miscommunication, take some time to like, okay, I hear what you're saying. I understand that you're upset. Yes, I might not be as like receptive to what you want to talk about right now, and I'm sorry about that. Give me just a little bit of time to fully process what you have said, and I'll get back to you in a little while about it. And then make sure that you actually do get back to your partner, so then that way it shows that, one, you're putting in the work, two, you hear and you validate whatever complaint that they happen to have with you right then at that point. And then that also like shows them that, wow, they're really thinking about these things and they really hear what I have to say. And then, like I said, just reapproach things. So many people break up around this time period of like during Mercury retrogrades. Things happen with their cars, stresses with bills, things at work just start piling up, and it's okay. Use this technique. Step back and say, listen, I've got to deal with this like in a little while. Let me just take what you said. I understand what you're saying, so on and so forth. One thing that I love to do, especially during this time period where I'm going through a Mercury retrograde and I start to feel shit building up, I will take a time, and it's usually like right around the full moon, within a day or two, either on the full moon or a day prior or a couple of days after the full moon, and I will just like take a moment, light a candle, and meditate on all the stuff that is going on in my life. And I just speak out into the universe and I connect with my higher power, and I say, you know, Blessed Goddess, Mother Divine, hear me during this time, during these trials of mine. My cup is overrunning and these burdens are too much for me to deal with at this time. Help me to learn the lessons that I need to know and the lessons that I need to learn, and help ease the burden of everything that I'm having to shoulder right now. Guide me in the right direction and teach me, but also I need your help, you know, and then just, you know, speak from your heart. And that's something that I kind of say, and that's what I do. I just talk from my heart, close my eyes, I think about all of the burdens, all of the trials and tribulations that I'm going with. I actually do say the whole part about my cup is running over. This is too much for me to shoulder. Please lighten the burden. And I'm telling you, it's either psychosomatic or it actually is something that's happening and works. But I find that the very next day or within an hour of me just talking it out, that things start to ease up and go better, and I do learn a lesson from that time period or whatever. So witchcraft and magic doesn't have to be all these bells, whistles, and elaborate rituals and spells and stuff like that. The simplest magic is usually the most potent, and a lot of times just taking a moment to reconnect with your higher power and just have that like moment of pure honesty with not only yourself but with everything that's going on in your world. And you're going to find out that doing that is going to be very beneficial for you and helps you out a lot. So, again, during the retrogrades, it's January 13th to February 3rd, May 10th to June 2nd, September 9th to October 1st, December 28th to January 18th, 2023. Those are the retrogrades for 2022. Just stay calm, be collected, and listen to what is being said. If you don't feel like you are getting your point across to somebody, take a moment, think about what you are trying to say to them, and try to rephrase it or send it to them in an email. But double, triple, and quadruple check any emails or voice messages or whatever that you're planning on sending. It's okay to write yourself some notes so that you are covering the key topics of what you need to cover, and just keep it moving and be blessed, everyone. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, put them in the comments section down below. If you need to get a hold of me or would like a tarot reading, you can get a hold of me by shooting me an email, mroveron@gmail.com. That's MROVERON @gmail.com, or head over to the website mroveron.com for tarot readings or whatever else. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye, witches.